Welcome to the Creative Plan Podcast Network. Join us as we share our favorite RPGs, one-shot games, tabletop games, reviews of items, and convention panels, and other exciting things that we run into from time to time. Sit back and enjoy the show.
Hi, this is Kelly, aka Trixie from Ragnarok and Roll, a Sign to Ragnarok story, and Tilda Wimblewick from D&D Journey of the 5th Edition. First off, I would just like to say thank you to everyone for listening to our varied adventures, as well as for rating us on iTunes and RPGpodcast.com. If you haven't rated us yet, we would greatly appreciate it if you could. And if you're looking for more ways to support our efforts, we are now on Patreon, a great site where you can help us continue making more podcasts, as well as some special surprises for our patrons. If you can, please look us up at www.patreon.com/cppn. Every little bit helps. And again, thank you for listening.
Hey guys, Jim here at Creative Plan Podcast Network with Kelly.
Hello.
Sounds like you're distracted. You really didn't feel bad.
Sorry, I was caught off.
I know it's, 12 days after your birthday.
Mm-hmm.
But do you know what today's topic is?
No.
I mean, I know you're scribing your game notes, all that good stuff, but I'd really like I would really love your undivided attention as we talk about the word of the day, which is love. Ooh, love. So the word of the day is love.
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 Well, I love you. I love gaming. I love RPGs. Let's see. I love dice. Trying to think. You know what? There is love in the game sometimes. Like, for example, reminds me of when in the Scion, one of the Scion games, Carrie's character
With Thorson?
actually fell in love with an NPC. They got married. They had kids. Twins, as a matter of fact, is what was rolled.
That's what the dice said.
Your
fertility magic didn't help.
Yeah. So she rolled with it. There was there's love in that regard. I mean, hell, one of my Scion characters had a baby too. And she loves that child, She loves her ex-husband. She kicked his ass, but she still loves him. She, to a degree, loves the father of her child, who happens to actually be Loki. Completely different character, though. But she's not stupid. She knows that she can't,
Yeah.
So I guess he's not just a Scion. Her child is her love child.
Her love child is a scion of Loki.
But not only that, he's 3/4 god. That's pretty good.
So he could either go with mom or he could go with dad.
Yeah, he could either go with grandma or so type of thing. But love has its place in the game. I know that some people don't like to have it in there because it creates a different kind of conflict.
Some people aren't comfortable having player on NPC or player on player relationships.
Yeah.
But it really does add your game group.
And it's a part of life. So, but if it does make players uncomfortable, then we need to respect that as well. But like some of my characters can be very promiscuous, or and others no. It's like she would never consider one of the characters like never sleep with just but another one, why not?
Scared 3 of the players by asking them which one of those 3 would you sleep with.
Oh yeah, the Scion one, yeah.
When you became a goddess of love.
Exactly. You know,
these things just happen. Don't be uptight.
Yeah.
Sex, drugs,
Dan
and
was
rock and
pretty
roll.
worried that his character was the father of her baby. I'm like, no, it's not. I wrote an additional story,
clarifying
to take that out off the table, but of course I submitted it to you because you're the storyteller of the world, you know. But
the fact that you're trying to whip Loki.
I wasn't trying to whip him. It's like, you didn't read that story? That was a very heart-wrenching story.
That's what I mean.
Oh my God.
Not the physical whip.
Yeah. No.
The emotional whip. You were breaking Loki.
No.
With true love.
She was waking. I think that there's, you know, maybe not if there's kids in the group.
Mm-hmm.
You know, keep like
Yeah,
adult
you
fiction.
Do it Disney style.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean, because Trevor, he did a really good job, but you did keep, like, when his character was being seduced by the nymph, and here he is, like, what, 10, 11?
He was like 12.
And
I was asking him genuinely, are you genuinely, you know, interested in her, or are you just playing along?
And of course, I was so proud of him, and he said, of course I'm genuinely interested.
And in true Viking style, he's converting a Titan into a godling, basically.
Yeah. So, I mean, and
so much so she'd steal from him to play.
Yeah, and there was this, you know, sort of naive...
The sweet girl next door.
Yeah, exactly. And that was great. It was awesome. It was really adorable to see him blushing too, because he's very shy when it comes to girls anyway. So it was very sweet. But it was just, you know, it was good for the story, but it didn't completely derail it.
Yeah, it wasn't
anything.
like some oh my god fixation point.
Yeah, and then although I mean, and we're talking love, not just friggin' sex. Yeah. You know, I mean, there's always that adolescent boy fixation on
the 1980s teen movie style RPGs.
But I'm talking more love as opposed to an actual emotional connection. I can see it. It can sometimes add to the experience of the game.
I mean, and don't forget, from my point of view, I always look at it as the camaraderie, band of brothers style love.
Yeah, like I would
where
like
when an adventuring
party members.
Exactly, when that party gets so close, where you literally get one player immediately will like physically react to another player's peril. That because your characters, you know, just like any group of people put through trials and tribulations, there's a common love that forms as a bond.
Yeah, like when Sister Solus got punted into the water. I mean, literally, she was gonna die.
Yeah.
And I was like, as I was playing the character, because she was going up against a paladin.
Yeah, she's way out of her class.
The paladin's mount was a friggin' shark. You know, and she's in the water.
You were fish bait.
I was total shark bait. And my character was gonna die. There was like, literally,
there was a death
she was doing death saves.
Yeah.
And she had failed 2 of them. So this was it. It was almost gone. And much as I love that character, I mean,
it would have been heartbreaking for her to die.
It would have been, but it also would have been.
It would have been a beautiful death.
It would have been very cinematic and stuff as well. But Riono took the monk gets in there and saves me.
The monk with funk.
Exactly. And because this character risked its own life to save me, there's this whole,
sisterly love
bond with them. And these party members, most of them really love each other. I mean, there was a couple that are like...
It was love-hate.
Yeah, but there's a true
There's some respect and love.
I mean, how many times have each of these characters saved each other's lives? It creates that
brotherly love.
Yeah,
the band of brothers type of thing.
So, and when when your player groups, the characters don't have that bond, it's much harder to establish the camaraderie.
And cohesion.
And it's interesting because it's not there initially, even though you may have gamed with all of these people before. And you can actually see it building just from the shared experiences that creates that love. And that's why I know it's like some people, it's so hard when you lose your character because you get to love
because you're
that
loving your character. Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, sometimes
it's just part of the story.
It happens. Sorry, folks. You know, there are many mechanisms in place to prevent it from happening, but it's bound statistically to happen. And when you love that character, it's very hard.
When a certain halfling gave up all her gold and her freedom for the love of her adventuring party that saved her from the wizard who hurt her and kept her secret as much as they were allowed to know. That showed her love to give away cold, hard gold cash.
Oh, that was hard for Tilda to do.
Yeah, see, that's love. I'll throw it out there as a GM, and a GM who grew up during the era of Hercules, the Legendary Journeys. And I love that show. Corny as hell, but fun.
Kevin Sorbo.
Just fun. In every game, a GM is doing his group a disservice if there's not some kind of love goddess and Valentine's Day. Come on, like even World of Warcraft has you know, their Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Love goddesses are fun to have. Like Freya in our Scion game, you know, things happen. I mean, and if you ever watch Hercules, the Legendary Journeys, they have episodes dedicated to Valentine's Day, and they're all hilarious because they're all, what would a love goddess do? So I still want to see an elven paladin to the goddess of love. We almost saw that in Jocelyn's paladin. Remember her hippie paladin?
Marigold Moonbeam, I think her name was.
Free love, man. Free love.
No, a circle of life, man. Yeah. A circle of life.
Because what would be cooler than a paladin of love? It would be like some total anime thing, I'm assuming, at some point. It would just evolve into an anime character throwing flowers and things at people. But what is Lancelot but the Knight of True Love? Was he not called the Knight of Love? All the girls fawned after him. I know in like some movie they called him the Knight of Love.
I'm like, I don't know of it, but
I could totally see him being a scion of Aphrodite. He came from a far off land across the sea.
Well,
the Pally of Love. So that is August the 28th. Love is in the air. So keep love at the table. Love your players. Love your GM. I'm sure there's some cautionary tale of don't do something, but we're going to skip over that one because I married one of my players. So, but remember, love and respect everybody you game with, and your gaming days will be so much better for it. Because there are many levels of love. And some require you to be a GM who kills your players. With love. Alrighty, guys. Thank you for listening.
Down in the depths of the mountain, we dwarves spend our time forging powerful weapons, mining precious gems and metals, and feasting like kings. But after a day of digging for the next Arkenstone, this dwarf likes to come home to a package full of loot. Dungeon Crate is a monthly subscription box service forged specifically for RPG and tabletop gamers. Miniatures, dice, tokens, coins, maps, modules, terrain pieces, handcrafted items, RPG jewelry, and more are yours for only a few gold per month. You even get a digital crate along with a physical one as an added bonus. So are you brave enough to reward yourself with a Dungeon Crate? By Morden's beard, I hope so. DungeonCrate.com. Let the adventure begin.
Thank you for listening to the Creative Play and Podcast Network. And feel free to enjoy our other shows, such as D&D Journey of the 5th Edition and Scion Ragnarok and Roll, a Scion hero to Ragnarok story. Thank you for listening.